Roblox is peaking, you just don't want to accept it. Alright, let's go past the trend of saying that Roblox is cooked or whatever, and let's finally start embracing it for a second. Recently, I've stumbled across a video that was pretty unique to say the least. And although I've seen these types of formulas in these videos already, this one really blew up, and you probably know which one I'm talking about. Now, I'm not trying to repeat his points there, but if there's some overlaps, I hope that's fine too. Most points he mentioned in his video were community aspects, which will also be pretty much the base of this video as well, but there are some other things I want to tackle, like... Listen up, I know you probably think you know what I'm going to talk about, and yes, but just listen to this. As a kid, like 10-year-old type shit, everything was way more magical than it is now. That's just how the human body works. You start forgetting the problems you used to have back in the day because to your current self, they're easy to solve, so you don't even bother remembering your struggles you had when you were 10. But you know what you do remember? The highlights. And that's just how it goes for literally anything in life. Pleasant memories have always a higher chance of remaining and reappearing than bad ones do, unless you've been traumatized or something. Just to name an example for like Roblox, we currently have slop games. You know, we call them slop games. They're this infection to Roblox or whatever, but like on the front page right now, but back in the day, when you went on the front page, you know what you remember? Good games. You remember the games you liked, you remember the games you never really played, and you remember the games you, like rarely any that you disliked, okay? But although the front page was better back in 2019 or 2018 or whenever your nostalgia zone was, like if we just go one step further than that and to actually use the search engine in 2019 or whatever, you know what you'd probably find? You find a couple of results what you were actually searching for in 2019. Like if you used the search bar, it was pretty practical, but you know what you would find if you would just go below that? A big fraction of the results would most likely just be this. We would find something that we at the time should have just called obby slop. I don't know if anybody remembers these, but basically you just find thousands of these obby spam type of games below the surface, which now isn't a thing anymore. And that was just one out of 100 examples that you could probably list. But I hope you get my point. Like Roblox always had problems, alright? Back in the day, because it actually was. At least the slot games on the front page we currently have get played, and you know, you gotta think about it, man. Isn't it crazy? You know, the slop games we're referring to nowadays have players, okay? Unlike these obby spam games where like a million of them existed and they all had like one player each. Like these slop games we currently have like hundreds of, like even thousands of players, alright? So this would mean this would also be a warm, nostalgic memory to some child out there. And you know what's the difference? Like there's none. Like we were the same, we were literally the same. Like we as a, I don't know if you had nostalgia in 2018, let's say, yeah, you would probably also have nostalgia with like crappy games, I bet. Like, I bet you've probably played at least one crappy simulator back in 2018 or something. Like that's gotta be like considered a slop game. It was heartless, it was corporate, but you still enjoyed the fuck out of it because, I don't know, you were a child, and as a child it's just way more entertaining playing like bad games for some reason. Too corporate, too polarizing, too sloppy, too whatever. These types of games have always been around. Some theme just gets more quantity than others because of a certain circumstance or a new meta in the Roblox game industry where like for some reason it's like an infinite money glitch, which it probably is. Slop games are most likely giving you the most like money bang for your buck, just like time to develop it and stuff. So I cannot even blame the developers, honestly. And when the quantity of certain Roblox games get pushed, like for example we have in the slop games and the brain rot games right now, of course the quantity of feedback will also increase. And although the quantity and everything increases, I don't even think like it leaves it looking like a bigger case than it is for some reason. Although slop games at heart are like pretty harmless, not gonna lie. Like I don't have any problems with slot games really. Of course they plague the front page a bit, but like they're not harmful. Like, you know, there's a certain type of Roblox game that is more harmful to like kids and stuff, and sure, we have them right now as well, but they were also always around, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I can say them, but these types of Roblox games have also always been around, just a side point, I feel like. But point is, as a child, you were less self-aware and had a bit less struggles, or your brain just filtered out the struggles, like mine. And overall your life felt better, so naturally Roblox just felt better as well. You know, you went outside back in the day, so Roblox was also just way more enjoyable when you were inside back in the day. And you know, now I want to speak a very famous quote from someone you might know. And you know, you probably know that quote. And it's going, you don't miss old Roblox, you miss being happy. Like, bro, come on, that is literally me. Like, I know what I've said about the community aspect, but like, please, speed, I need this. Roblox community was always like ungrateful towards Roblox, but since we have bad news channels now, like for example, I'm not saying bad news channel in like a bad way, but okay, like news channels in general, like they just cover news topics. You probably know which one I'm talking about, like which, there's a couple of them actually. But like the hatred towards Roblox updates, even towards just new minor changes, gets amplified by like ×4. Even if the update is low-key harmless, you'll find comments under those commentary videos saying they'll curse the next 3 generations of Bazookies just because some dude who wasn't even David Bazooki himself at Roblox headquarters thought something would be a good idea, so he executed it, and Roblox community didn't like it, although it was very much just a minor change, okay? Not saying that the particular thing you're thinking about right now was a good change, because I don't know, there was a lot of bad changes in Roblox, of course there were, but in the grand scheme of things, did it hurt that much? Like, come on, in my opinion, there's only like 2 or 3 updates that were unnecessary, or like, you know, the updates that really stung me. In my opinion, like I can name a few, like for example, the Roblox official egg hunt removal in 2020, which was really painful because, like, you know, I had good times in the egg hunts back then. Or the removal of like in-game Roblox ads, if you remember those. Like, those were also just so fun to like look to, and they're like so silly and goofy. Or like, I don't know, even the oof removal kind of hurt because, you know, that's a pretty big staple of Roblox. But in my opinion, like, we've always just mocked Roblox. Of course we do, because they're just a major company. But, you know, just major or minor things. Overall, from the complaints we have, like, I'd say only 20% or 25% are like accurate, because, you know, like, it's children saying their opinion, voicing their opinion. And would it always be best to listen to children in a corporate world? I don't know, man. You'll make your own opinion. While the rest, like, of like updates that hurt, like from those 100%, I'd say only 25% hurt. The rest of them are like, yeah, they hurt for a week, but, you know, I don't really care that like Premium just got another feature removed for some reason. Like, for example, this might be a bit of a hot take, but who gives a crap that Roblox has changed their logo for like the 12th time? I don't. Like, it only hurt temporarily, I swear. Roblox has never been perfect, but right now, you cannot say that the Roblox headquarters are completely screwing up things. Like, there's a reason Roblox is breaking record for concurrent players time and time again, and the Roblox creators we have are just like more diverse than ever. Sure, our past was like pretty warm and stuff, but to be honest, how long would you actually like to stay in your childhood? Like, I'd say for around like 2-3 weeks, I would be pretty happy with it, pretty glad with it. But around that time, it would also just like fall down again if I was forced to repeat the same things I used to do in my childhood. Like, I'm just saying it, sure, your time was good, but how long would you like to stay in it, bro? It would only, like, in my opinion, be a vacation. I wouldn't like to stay in it forever, man. Also, I couldn't tackle anything below 2010, so I couldn't like name examples for like problems people had in 2010, because literally I was born in 2010, so yeah, that's also just crazy to imagine that the platform has been around for longer than I have been, which is just, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? So maybe, sure, maybe you could counter by saying that Roblox was perfect in 2010, and I cannot say anything against it because, well, I'm not going to do research on what problems they had in 2010. But, you know, maybe it was perfect back then, but probably not. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, and if you haven't, just don't do it. Boom, abrupt ending.